lot of owners say that they want to scale, but what that really means is they want more money without more chaos. So what does scaling actually look like in a plumbing and HVAC business? Well, stay with me because it's probably not what you think. Hi, I'm Peter Karunas, husband, father of 4, and chief growth officer of a home service franchise system. This channel is about real conversations on franchising, the trades, and building a business that actually lasts. And in each episode, I break down the lessons, the mistakes, and opportunities that I see every day inside of the home services industry so that you can make more informed decisions along the way. Thank you so much for being here, and let's jump right on into it. So over my career, I've watched owners grow fast. They've grown smart. They've grown themselves right into burnout. Scaling isn't just about adding trucks. It's about adding control. So let's talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about what real sustainable growth looks like in this business and why most people try to scale too early or in the wrong order. Here's the first thing that you need to hear. Scaling is not growth for growth's sake. I sounded like my mother when I said that. Scaling is not growth for growth's sake. Scaling is about building a business that works without breaking you. Most owners think that scaling means more trucks, more techs, more jobs. But if the foundation isn't right, all that you're doing is multiplying your problems. So before you add anything, you need 3 things. Let's get into it. Number 1, people. Now I know, but if you don't have the right people in place, adding volume just exposes gaps. You need technicians who follow process. You need an office staff who protect the calendar. And you need managers and leaders who don't need constant supervision. Scaling without people is just stress at a much higher level. Number 2, you need systems. And this is where a lot of owners lie to themselves. They say that they have systems, but what they really have is experience in their head. Real systems live outside of you. You have pricing standards, you have dispatch rules, you have follow-up processes, you have training documentation, you have a vendor list. If something only works when you're involved, it's not scalable. And third, you need cash flow visibility. Not just revenue, not just bank balance. That's not what we're talking about here. You need to understand your cost per truck. You need to know what your break-even points are. You need to know what your margin by job type is. You need to know payroll as a percentage of revenue. Scaling without this clarity is essentially gambling. So now that you have a foundational knowledge of what those 3 things that you need to scale your business, here's one of the biggest mistakes that I see. Owners add a truck because they're busy. Busy doesn't mean that you're ready. The right time to add a truck is when your current trucks are consistently profitable. Your dispatching is tight, okay? Your pricing supports margin. Let's just harp on that last one for a moment. You're able to say no when a customer says, can you do it for less? That's essentially what I mean, where your pricing supports your margin. And lastly, when your lead flow is predictable. Now that one's a tough one because that's going to require you and your community building aspects to get out there and start building some of that flow. Not by throwing money at the Google or the Yelps or the Angies of the world. Those are going to get you going, but predictable lead flow comes from when you can rely on repeat business, your memberships, your accounts, whether they're local accounts, regional accounts, or national accounts. Okay? Those are the areas when you are ready to scale your business into that 4th, 5th, 6th truck, whatever that looks like. That's what you need at a foundational level. But if you add a truck hoping that it will fix these problems, well, I'm here to tell you that that will probably amplify the problem instead. So let's talk about the owner's view when it comes to like the emotional side of scaling. And again, I've created this channel because this part doesn't get talked about enough. Scaling changes your role as an owner. You spend less time doing and more time deciding. And that can really feel uncomfortable, for sure. You know, you're no longer the hero. You're the architect to it all. You see, some owners resist this because they find that their time isn't being spent correctly. They miss the adrenaline and the fixing things and getting out there and being an impact. But leadership is quieter than execution, but it's much more impactful. There's some healthy and unhealthy feelings here about scaling. Healthy scaling feels controlled. You know your numbers, you trust your people, you see issues before they even become emergencies. But unhealthy scaling feels reactive, constant extinguishing of fires out there, hiring in a panic, cash flow stress. There's just like no time to think. And the difference isn't effort here. It's just structure. You know, if you're out there and your technician just quit on you and you immediately need to hire somebody to fill that seat and you're not doing it strategically, I mean, that is unhealthy. So if you're able to do this in a healthy way, what does this usually unlock for you as the owner? Well, here's what scaling unlocks for you. When scaling your fleet and when that's done right, something extremely powerful happens for you. The business becomes less dependent on you, decisions will become clearer, and opportunities expand. This gives you the ability to think long-term. You can develop relationships, you can develop leaders, you can consider multi-territory or multi-unit growth. But none of that happens by accident. It's just built deliberately. So, as we run out of time here, scaling isn't about doing more. It's about building something that works better. And when growth is intentional, it creates freedom instead of pressure. And that, my friends, that's what real scaling looks like. I hope you watched this video and you learned something about scaling. Scaling is very important to all of us, but it doesn't happen overnight. So if you're out there and you're thinking about your business and you're thinking about how you can scale, talk to somebody about it. I hope some of these points were able to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me on the Franchise Builder. If you got any value from this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any future episodes that I'm going to drop. Because I release new, brief videos regularly covering franchising, the trades, and what it really takes to build a business that lasts in this industry. Thank you for watching the Franchise Builder, and I'll see you on the next episode. Sometimes these owners that I work with say that they can't find good technicians. But what they really mean is they can't find good technicians who want to work for them. So strong hiring systems don't depend on finding unicorns. They depend on building a team that can grow together.